saluto a tutti.
Ciao Juventini, welcome back to the AJC, and we're close, getting close to kickoff in another big one for Juventus. Atalanta today is the test in Bergamo. We will see what Juventus shows up for this one, but this is going to be a big one, a big one. We've got some mixed feelings out there based on the predictions that came out of the preview show, which we ended about an hour and a half ago. Thank you to everybody who was with us on that one. But our starting lineup is in. I'll bring up the graphic and we're going to get ready to get after this one here, okay? So here's your starting 11. As expected, when we went over it today, and that's Szczesny in goal, Gatti, Bremer, Danilo. Rugani was dealing with cramps after getting the nod in the last one, so Max Allegri alluded to that in the press conference, saying, hey, we'd have to make a decision there. It's Gatti in the middle, right across, all as expected, other than Cambiaso, which was changed later on, earlier on today, that he ended up getting the go in head of Kostic, and I like that decision, to be honest, against Atalanta. You've got McKennie, Fagioli, Locatelli, Rabiot, Cambiaso with Chiesa, and then of course Keane up top with Vlahovic and Milik being a no-go. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. I hope, I think Keane's going to have a strong showing for us. And then you have Apex here saying that I hope Keane surprises me because I'm not expecting much from him. So yes, hopefully. I'm hoping for a lot out of our midfield. And I said that for me, that's the biggest question mark. And funny enough, that was one of our questions throughout this week to our followers, our subscribers, our friends, our fellow Juventini, is essentially where would you make that addition? Who and where, if you could only make one move in January? Would it be the midfield? Would it be defense? Would it be attack? For me, our midfield has shown some major inconsistency already just through the games we've played, and I'm expecting a lot, and they need to be sharp today. I'm happy Fagioli gets the nod. I think he was easily our best midfielder in the last game. Locatelli, Rabiot, I need more from both. Okay, consistency has been a problem for Juventus just in terms of player performances. We need the midfield cooking. It'll help the guys at the back. It'll help the guys at the front. Hopefully today they have a strong showing. At the back, I'm not terribly concerned. I know the statistics will look bad in terms of goals against, but really it's that blip, it's that hiccup, it's that blackout against Sassuolo. Outside of that, the defense has looked pretty good. Okay, and in attack, we've got our main guys firing. Chiesa, Vlahovic. Unfortunately, Vlahovic not available today. Moise Keane. Let's see what happens. Mark, difficult match today. We need to be alert and aggressive without getting yellow cards. Yes, Juve, the second highest penalized team for yellow cards, second to Salernitana, who has 20. Juve at 17. Yeah, we'll want to be obviously very disciplined today against Atalanta. My prediction was 2-2, Chiesa being a goal scorer, and us surrendering, unfortunately, a PK. I think it's got draw written all over this one, but I'd be happy if Joe and Omer were correct on their predictions of Juventus getting the win today. 2-1 were their score predictions. You guys, drop your predictions right now in the chat. Let me see them. How are you feeling right now that the game is close? Vlahovic is out due to some back issues that he had been experiencing, so he is not going to be in there. And Omer saying the shirt is I had to go with this one today. I don't know. I opened up the closet. Of course, you guys know, over 200 options in there. This one caught my eye, and I said, yes, I'm throwing it on. But no, it does not have Melberg on the back. It's actually blank on the back. And if we want to talk about kits, I'm starting to feel like there's been some nasty turnaround and whatever at Juve, and I'm almost feeling like I need to go back to the blanks and start getting guys that earn their names and numbers on the back of the kits, and I might start being way more selective. But I like getting new players and whatnot and getting in mixed up, but I might go back to just rocking the blanks. Some people put legends on the newer kits too, which is kind of cool. You know, you're not going to get stung that way by putting 10 Del Piero on a kit, but I also don't associate that guy with that kit, so it's weird. A lot of mixed feelings when it comes to the kit. Apex, McKennie seems to be solidifying his starting spot. Today on the preview show, I said it. For me, I put him right on par with Chiesa as far as consistency so far in terms of the level they're at and where the rest of the team needs to be at. So I've been very, very impressed with McKennie. I still think we need to mix Weah in there, but against Atalanta, McKennie is obviously in the clear lead for the starting spot. Let's roll with him. JSKP coming up with the 4-1 for Juve. Let's go. I hope so. And yes, we did. We doubled Real Madrid with this kit. Absolutely. Mark one, not convinced with our forward line. Keane is very unpredictable. Hope that he is in good form. Yeah, I think the one thing with Keane that I'm going to like is that I feel like almost I can bank on is that work rate, that physicality at least, and the constant running. And I think that'll bode well against a team like Atalanta. As far as the connection with Chiesa, well, even Vlahovic and Chiesa haven't really been connecting a whole lot, so there's a lot to be left desired there. I don't think it's going to be that detrimental to everything overall. I think the bigger thing here for us would be Cambiaso's involvement, because the last time out he left a lot to be desired based on what he had shown us previously. Cambiaso will be one I'll have eyes on. In the middle of the park, all three of the guys I'm going to have eyes on. Our midfield needs to be with it and focused today. Fagioli, I want Fagioli to take that next level, take that next step, because we know he's got the ability, he's got the talent. I need him to start influencing much more. But I thought there was a good sign last game. I want that to continue. So, and Mark, let's say if we manage to control and take over the midfield, we can, and then kind of ends there. Look, I think as far as this Juventus squad goes, we can beat anybody. Okay? We can play with everybody. We can beat everybody. We just need to get it, again, to become consistency. The certain performances that we've seen this year, we need to make that the standard, make that the norm. Okay? Then you can deal with the hiccups here and there, or a bad half here and there, but we need to find a rhythm and consistency to our play. So hopefully we get a big one today, but we need to make that statement. Midweek against Lecce, very important to get back to the win column after the debacle against Sassuolo last weekend. They did so. We wanted a stronger reaction, stronger showing. Maybe we get that today, and I'll take it today. But ultimately, results. We need results. We talked about October's fixtures. Got 4 of them. And you would have to think for Juve to remain in the race and whatnot, they have to tackle 9 points out of these 4 matches, which obviously are Atalanta today. Then the Derby della Mola, where the Ultras will be back, and that's essentially the last time they're going to be back planned, okay, until an agreement comes into place. And then after the Derby della Mola, we are going to have Milan, and that comes after international break. So the Derby della Mola before international break, Milan after on the 22nd, and then wrapping up October, Hellas Verona on the 28th. So you got to get 9 points out of here. You'd have to think for Juve to stay in this race and be where they want to be heading into November. So we'll see what happens today, but it's a big one. Omer listed it as a must-win. I called it can't lose. So there you go. The Allegri effect playing at me. And here you go. Somebody else wants Keane, saying Vlahovic is crap. Okay. I don't feel that way, but to each their own. Hope Yildiz gets some minutes today. I hope so, because it would probably mean that we're in a lead. Federico Chiesa can rest, and yeah, so I'd be all for it. Yildiz is one of the names I'd play there, switching up to Chiesa, but also Illing Jr., who I think should get more minutes. We keep hearing rumors that Juve is going to be open to a sale for him, and there's a lot of teams around Illing Jr. I see him as a talent I hope that we don't lose, and I hope that's the case, but you got to think at some point, Juve is going to have to make decisions on their younger players, and minutes are probably going to come into play. Right now, he hasn't been able to get much, but maybe we can make a switch up. And this is another argument that some fans out there have about switching to the 4-3-3 to start getting these guys more minutes with some of these other positions when you open up the wings, right? So Iling Jr. can get in there more, even Weah could get in there more, but even Yildiz, right? And then Sule's having a strong showing with Frosinone so far this season. He maybe comes back next season. You would hope, right? After, if he can keep that going all season, come back stronger, ready to go, and more comfortable in the league and his own game, and then be able to get rolling for us. We'll see what happens, but I'm fully with Luca here and keep the young players around. Mostly saying buy Samardzic and Thuram, then bench Locatelli and Fagioli. Well, the Thuram one's going to be very difficult. His price tag, I can't see him leaving in the winter mercado, and his price tag is going to go up and up. We talked about it quite a bit today on the preview show, but Thuram for me doesn't seem like a realistic option. I think there's going to be too many teams in on him. I think his salary is going to be high, and his price tag is just going to keep going up through this season based on his performances so far. So I can't see it. Samardzic is a very, very realistic target for Juventus. As far as benching the other guys, well, no, let's create some combat, so to speak, for the starting roles, because honestly, even if you look at Locatelli right now, you're talking about moving Fagioli into that spot to try and cover him. You have Hans Nicolussi Cavilla there, but it's, for the most part, with no disrespect to the others, is really not a threat there about him losing a spot. Rabiot's another guy that's, I think, feels comfortable, and these guys might feel too comfortable. We shouldn't have anybody feeling comfortable on the roster based on what we're getting with the performances in terms of consistency. Last few games, we've had two-thirds of our midfield practically invisible. Nobody should feel safe. So again, even if you're bringing in guys, just create the battle for the starting spots. That's what we got to do. But yes, keeping the young talent is key for Juventus. But we have to also keep in mind we have like a plethora of young talent. You're not going to be able to keep them all. You just won't. And you have to balance out the roster. And you do have to have some experience. It's all about balance. We won't be able to keep them all, unfortunately. But there may be some decisions that have to be made there. And Iling Jr. might be one of them. I hope not, though. He's one I want to see stick around. I was saying we should execute Milik and get in Jovic next season if Milan don't buy him. Jovic, eh? I'm not really big on him, but to each their own. To each their own. I'm not really big on that guy. Buy Carlos Alcaraz. We need better depth. We will eventually. Right now, we don't need a massive amount of depth because we're not spread across European competitions. We're playing domestically. Coppa Italia, Serie A. Our depth is not a critical matter at the moment, okay? For me, moving on next season, then we'll have to start talking about depth, and then we'll have to really make some decisions. And to be honest, the finances are still going to be tight, everybody. So we're going to have to work really diligently, and that's where I think we'll start seeing, some of Giuntoli come through, is the next summer mercado and how he manipulates things to try and help us get a little bit depth, boost the roster a little bit, and then, of course, try and see what we can do while still being limited. Ultimately, until the shackles come off, I don't know if we'll get, the true Giuntoli maybe for a whole nother year beyond that. But time will tell. We'll have to see. And yes, Farid, of course, let's get the victory. It's going to be a big one today. Elias coming in here. Alberto, do you remember our bet of playing 5 consecutive matches for Juve? Yeah, I do, and that's shocking to think it would go that way. But yes, you are en route to win that bet. God, you're winning that bet, but we're kind of losing, brother. But that's okay. What's more shocking is I'm probably going to lose the bet I made this season with Anthony about Deschilio and Pogba. And yes, we're probably going to see Deschilio more than Pogba. And we're not far out from seeing what's going to happen with Pogba, as we're 4 days away from the retest, but still something's going to happen in terms of a punishment. Swati, Chiesa will score today. Let's go. I called him on a goal. We've got the feed coming through now. We're just looking at the lineups as we get ready. I will put up the graphic for those of you coming in now as Juve starting 11. There you are looking at it, okay? Luca saying we need more competition to be in the starting 11. We do need to create competition for starting spots, but as far as depth goes in competition, I think we're okay now. Allegri's going to have to be a little more ruthless with starting spots. But here's your starting 11 today. Szczesny, Gatti, Bremer, Danilo, McKennie, Fagioli, Locatelli, Rabiot, Cambiaso, Chiesa, and Keane. There you go. Sell Kostic. You know what? I was ready to sacrifice him. And I wouldn't be surprised if something happens, but it's too early to tell. We have to keep a track on his minutes and what happens with him and how much he's used through this season. That's going to be really telling about what'll happen potentially in the winter. Keane will score a hat-trick. I hope so. I would lose it and be so happy for him. Jeremiah Al, do you really trust our players to raise their game tonight? Well, this is just it. Jeremiah, it could easily happen. And it could easily not. Like, we have these question marks going into these games as to what Juventus are we going to get. Are we going to get a flat half of football? Not a solid full 90. Are we going to get guns blazing like we've seen in a couple matches? Lazio Udinese stand out to me. Are we going to get just an absolute mess where it's just error prone and the team's just running us like we saw against Sassuolo? I don't know. It's been 6 games so far, so it's very, very difficult. But, if you're going to ask me, do I trust our players to raise their game tonight? Ultimately, it's a question mark as to what Juventus we are going to get, because we haven't built that consistency in order to have this trust in the squad. It's only been 6 games this season so far. For the majority of what I've seen, I've really liked. And I think there is progress compared to how we were playing last season. But there's been blips. There's been a brutal half against Bologna. There's been an error-prone, awful showing against Sassuolo. There's been a flat reaction to Lecce. I don't really know. But there's been solid performances in there too. Opening to Udinese. The Lazio game, we played brilliant. It's too early to really, for the team to have established enough trust from us. And we just have to take it in stride, one game at a time, and right now, hope. And I just tell everybody, without hope, we have nothing. Why even watch the games? My hope is that they will raise their game, they will be elevated, and to the level we require them to be at today. Chanky saying, I am concerned about today. Hey, it's going to be a tough game. We know it's going to be a tough game. We know Atalanta is going to want to get after that. We know Gasperini loves results against Juventus. Let's see what happens. Yes, it's okay to be concerned. And Omer agrees with me, too early to answer the question in terms of trust with our players. And Jeremiah, yes, agreed. I don't know what Juve we're going to get tonight. Hope the good Juve turns up. Of course we hope so. We're getting closer and closer to that kickoff, though, everybody. We're about 5 minutes out. Do not forget to get your predictions in here, okay? Let's have some fun with that. The AJC challenge is always your final score with 2 tiebreakers. Hit us with your predictions in here. Let's go. To recap the morning's predictions, Omer went 2-1 with Chiesa to score. And he said probably one from the midfield, Rabiot. Joe had 2-1 with Keane being one of the goal scorers and Rabiot to get a card. I went 2-2. A draw, but I hope I'm wrong, with Chiesa being a goal scorer and Juve surrendering a PK. Hopefully not the case. Hopefully not the case. We're waiting for the teams to come out of the tunnel. I'll leave you that starting 11 as we get closer and closer to kickoff here in what's sure to be a tough one. Luca coming in here, 3-1. Chiesa, Keane, and McKennie as the goal scorers. There you go. Chase KP dropping the 4-1 Aderun yellow. Chiesa and Keane goals. Okay, okay. RB, what is up? Tony Trev, hey, you know, weekends, little cruise, little coffee with the family. Now I'm back, ready to rock. Let's go. Watching from home with me. Oh, happy to have you here. Happy to have you here, TNT. Let's rock, brother. I have turned off commentary audio in game and switched to your Hey, isn't that what you've been doing the whole time, RB? Come on. That's what everybody else does. Let's go. You know where it's at for the call, brother. By the way, if anybody here hasn't checked out RB Comps with his compilations, he just had a fantastic one to unveil the new logo. Check him out. Instagram, Twitter. I still call Twitter X now, whatever. But RB Comps doing brilliant stuff. Helped us out too with the intro vid and our outros and stuff. Just an awesome Juventino and a super, super talented one at that. Check out his comps. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Great work from him. We always enjoy his work. 3-0 coming in here from Musi. Keane, Szczesny. Come on. The Fubo commentary is rough. Oh. Jeremiah coming in with his full-time prediction. It's 3-2 Juve. This is going to be an absolute barn burn. But he's called, look at this. Fagioli, Rabiot, McKennie for the goal scores. 13 attempts, 6 on target. Man of the match. Rabiot's time for the horsepower to shine again. Let's go. Let's see. If Tech scores today, yeah, no doubt. He'll get something. Imagine the winner. But it would have to be a 3-2, but 3-0 for Szczesny goal. But imagine like Jeremiah's 3-2 and it's a late corner and Szczesny's the one that bags it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 2-1. 2-1. Let's go. Let's go. And let's get the likes going, everybody. We are almost set for kickoff. They're just showing the refs, the VAR. Hopefully VAR is not a factor. The officiating's just been garbage everywhere this season. Let's be serious, and Italy has always had a problem. Hopefully, it has no bearing on today's game. We look at Cambiaso, we look at Szczesny, we look at De Ketelere, we look at Bremer. Let's go, lads. We see Gasperini there. Looks a little nervous, you know. Pogba getting caught with tests. I'm sure all his players juice. Huddle. The huddle made customary last season, dating back to the Retiro. After what went down in a shocking start to the season, I believe it was after the Monza defeat. And now they go. Get ready, everybody. It's almost time for kickoff. I'm ready to rock. Let's go. Waiting for that ref to blow the whistle. Teams are ready. Atalanta on the ball to start. And there we go. We got kickoff. Atalanta bombing that one down. McKennie heading it down. Stopped in the middle of the park by Ederson. Tripped up there. No call. Fagioli taken away with it. Trying to send Chiesa up ahead, but it's cut off. Atalanta with the ball at the back now. Toloi, City, Scalvini, Cup Miners hugging the left flank right now. Played forward to Catalare. Cup Miners trying to play in behind Juventus Bremer sells it down here. Gatti closing things down. Gatti blocks the cross in there from Ruggeri. It's going to be a corner kick to Atalanta. Looks like Lookman's going to head over there to take it for Atalanta. He's off to a good start this season. De Catalara is going to be happy with his run of form with Atalanta. Miles ahead of where he was when joining Milan. Here's a cross in. Headed out to the top of the area. Chiesa's got pressure on the back there from Zappacosta. Locatelli now has it out for a throw-in, but gets it out of trouble. Atalanta still on the front foot here for the first minute and a half. Juve's going to try and get possession here and then settle things down. Cambiaso now bombs it, but it's going to again be a Atalanta throw-in. Allegri on the sideline here. Looking the same as he always looks the same. It doesn't matter what the scoreline is, anything. He always has the same look. All right. City over to Scalvini. Cup Miners. Back to Scalvini, back to Gym City. And Juve hanging back here in their shell. Keane very far back as well. Chiesa. Cup Miners now on the left being closed down by Fagioli. Little 1-2 with Ruggeri. Fagioli watching him. Back to Scalvini. A lot of space between Atalanta's backline and Chiesa and Keane as Juve very compact already in a shell. Lookman over to Zappacosta. Back to Toloi and for Lookman. Trying to play quick little 1-2s here. De Catalare trying to do some work here on Cambiaso. And he's getting pinned back here up to Bremer. Chiesa now loses it there. De Catalare. Cross in. Gatti clears. Was well aware of his man there. Oh, unfortunate bounce there for Chiesa there. Gatti trying to urge the troops on here. Atalanta's on it to start. 3 minutes in. Come on. Atalanta trying to work up that flank there. McKennie chesting it down. Fagioli settling it. Look how bunched up we are. Locatelli does find a way up to Keane here. He's cutting across centrally, looking for an option here. Move the ball. Let's go, guys. Get the legs going. Danilo to Luca. Now finds Gatti. Gatti moving up into space here. Plays it for McKennie. Quick little hit inside for Rabiot. There you go. Oh, tries to play it ahead for Chiesa. Chiesa's on. He's deep. Keep it in bounds, Fede. Man, Chiesa stumbling there. Looking off. They finally call it for being over the byline, but man, Rabiot a little less weight on there, and that was a nice little play there. But Chiesa, you got to keep that in there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's grow into this. Atalanta back on the ball. They're going to switch it all the way over for Scalvini. Again, Cup Miners is just calling Scalvini to take the space that's being given to him. Cup Miners continues to hug that left flank. Zappacosta headed forward. Danilo just sees it out with Lookman applying pressure there. Another throw in deep in Juve's territory for Atalanta. Zappacosta quickly taking it. Dropping it to the back here for Toloi. Finds Derun. Back to Zappacosta. In for Lookman. Back to Toloi. Misses the ball as he's given directions, but still on it. And Juve is deep. Juve is deep in a defensive shell right now. Scalvini. He's closed down by Fagioli. McKennie offers a little bit of pressure to Ruggeri. He's got to go all the way back. Misses Ederson, but Gym City's there to pick it up. Now over. De Bruyne, who's dropped. Here's De Bruyne inside for Ederson. Oh, beats his first man. Has a hit. It's blocked and falls to Szczesny's hands. Ederson will be another player to watch for Atalanta. Cagey start here. Cagey start. We need to get on the ball a little bit more here. But dropping very, very deep defensively is Juventus. Even Keane, well back. He's on it now, trying to get a little touch in for McKennie. Gatti comes in to clean things up, but it's going to go all the way back to Musso. Six minutes in, all Atalanta on possession, around 76% at the moment. Come on. Scalvini. Atalanta just working it around the perimeter now. Little bit of pressure here from Chiesa. Keane trying to close down Ederson, but he finds Ruggeri there. But Fagioli drops back, filling in nicely. Intercepts the ball, drops it back to Szczesny, who now plays it out to Gatti. Locatelli signaling to calm things down. Take your time to Gatti. Fagioli saying as well to slow down, cycle it. Comes up to McKennie, who's quickly closed down. Goes back to Gatti, who's closed down immediately. Now can only pop it forward. This ball is just bouncing around, and we're not able to find players. And again, they were signaling to Gatti to slow things down, cycle the ball around. And if you take the space too quick before positions open up, you're not going to have options. But we need to get moving off the ball. Here's McKennie with a quick throw into Chiesa to Fagioli, who pops it ahead looking for Keane. Keane's going to do battle there with Toloi, and Toloi wins that one. Rather easily, too. Too easy. Here's Bremer doing battle with the Cataler. That's a battle he should be winning, just like that. A way bigger physical specimen, and he should be out-muscling him on everything. Szczesny on it now. Sees Gatti out to the right. He's going to swing it out to him. Tony Trim thinking it was going to be 50-50 off possession. It hasn't started anywhere near that, but let's go. We can grow into this one. Here's Chiesa trying to pop this one over the top to Keane. He looked offside to me. He's trying to settle it down. Zappacosta being pressured, and now, yeah, there's the offside call. He did look offside to me at the time Chiesa released that. That's a good look, though, because Atalanta sends numbers. They're usually left wide between their three CBs, and take those shots here and there. Chiesa, if he leads them a little bit more on that one, and Keane's obviously onside, be a different outcome. Let's go. It's one of the looks to keep Atalanta honest, and it's important to keep them honest, but it's also important that we get on the ball more. But so far, containing Atalanta rather well, but again, we want to see Juventus do more and be on the ball more. LA Juve saying, what's up, I'll tell you the truth, I'm afraid to watch Juve. There's fear within Juve, man. I'm going to pass it and go for a motorcycle ride. Hey, whatever you have to do, but I appreciate you dropping in. Drop a like, brother. I have no fear. I watch all the time, but as you wish. Come back for the post-match podcast, no matter what. Oh, here's Ederson trying to flip one through to Scalvini, who had made a deep run there, but he's marked out nicely, and Szczesny picking up the through ball. And it was actually Lookman, not Ederson. Here's McKennie on it. He's going to drop it back for Gatti. Come on, we got to get moving off the ball here. This is one thing I talk about. See Locatelli there, he's ruled out. Teams have picked up on that. Now, Locatelli himself has to move out. Has to be an option, but the midfielders, our Metsalas, cannot bomb forward too soon. They have to come back and help collect as well. We need to move back as a unit. If you are going to drop back and play that deep a defensive shell, you have to move up and build up together. Otherwise, all it's going to be is a long bomb route one thing for one player like Keane, Vlahovic, Milik insert. So we can't do that. So those Metsalas cannot bomb forward too quick. Everybody has to rotate in the middle of the pitch and help each other and help collect that ball and get us out of there and transition into offense. And help with ball retention and possession. Here's Bremer again battling with De Catalare. De Catalare is going to get the throw in. It's deep in Atalanta's territory. He's just going to drop it. I don't know if he could throw that ball very far. He looks like he's 9 years old. Zappacosta in for Lookman. Here's Toloi. And again, Atalanta just keeping that possession. Rotating around perimeter. Ederson. Durgeri. Into Cupmans. Oh, little flick. Can't be handled. Here's Gatti trying to come out. It's got Fagioli there. Finds Keane. Keane trying to take on his man. Has a little space here. Doing battle with Scalvini's. Quickly closed down by 3 players. Does well there to earn the throw in at least. Absolutely surrounded. Need to support each other better. Let's go. Come on. 11 and a half minutes in. Now Juve's starting to get on the ball a little bit more, but still need way more in terms of build-up and development. Look at Danilo coming into the middle, showing up. Now slides it out to Bremer. Over to Cambiaso, in for Danilo. And here's Danilo sparking it. What did I say? We got to rotate. Get more guys in here. Here's Rabiot trying to just even get to the ball, let alone have a cross in. It's out over the line. It's going to be a goal kick. Like, come on, you guys. Great idea, though. And what I say, get rotation in the middle there. They're going to rule out Locatelli. You got to move him out, get somebody else in there. Keep teams guessing. Don't make it easy for them. Atalanta on it here. Again, at the back. Musso's going to be on it. A little bit of pressure from Chiesa, not much. To Gym City, here's Keane. Scalvini, closed down by Fagioli. He can only bomb it forward, but Bremer cuts it out. He's got space ahead of him. De Catalere going through his back here. Here's Chiesa. Oh, it took too long and then was trying to hit Bremer on it there, but here's Fagioli doing well to track back and win it back. McKennie back to Gatti. To Locatelli. Let's go. Let's pick up the urgency, you guys. Let's go. Speed. Pace, tempo. And there's a bomb ball forward nowhere near Fagioli or Keane. And Atalanta again, taking their time. Going to build up from the back and little to no pressure from Juventus. Just forming their shell. They will slowly get more and more compact as Atalanta has this possession around the perimeter. Right now, on the right side, here's De Bruyne. Cuts in and now a quick switch all the way to Ruggieri. One touch back for Cup Miners. He's got Fagioli ahead of him. He's just going to go back to Scalvini, who finds Ederson. And they're going to scan, now move it out to the right side. Rabiot is going to close in on Toloi. Here's De Bruyne with a little bit of space. Cuts inside, finds Lookman. Lookman trying to take some Juventini on. Loses the ball. Now Ruggieri has a little bit of space. He's going to cross one in. It's going back post. All alone. Oh my God. Zappacosta all alone. And Juve is fortunate not to be down 1 here as he made an absolute mess of that. And thank you, Zappacosta, for making a mess of this. A lot of confusion there, even with Rabiot and Danilo standing. That is awful. That is absolutely awful to watch in terms of defending. My word. Between Danilo and Rabiot, Zappacosta was able to come in and they didn't have a clue between the two of them. Holy guys, mamma mia. Mamma mia. And look, and we got to get on this ball, you guys. You got to fight for it. Let's go. 50-50, they're lost. And again, what did I say? Don't send the Metzalas up too soon. Move up together with that ball. This one's going to go all the way back to Musso. Keane. Just keeping tabs, but really no pressure on the goalkeeper. He's moved outside of the area. Now is going to put a long one forward. Gatti heads it back in centrally. Locatelli is challenged with that one. He's going to win the throw-in for Juventus. McKennie gets ready to take it. Holy, come on, you guys. Let's go. Pick it up. Pick it up. Where's my coffee? Mamma mia. Here's Keane. Doing some battle. Gym City on him. Here comes Scalvini to help. He's doing battle here. Look at him absolutely surrounded. And where's the support? And now he's going to lose the call here. Fagioli in. Trying to have some words with the third official there, but honestly, just get back in position. Let's go. Time to get into this, boys. We got to support Keane. Can't keep putting this guy on an island. He's surrounded by 3-4. The support's got to come quicker. We're not moving. We're not moving today. Bremer wins that aerial. Here's Danilo winning his aerial. Musso on it. As a 50-50 sees Atalanta just go all the way back to the keeper. Jim City now to De Bruyne. Leaves it for Toloi. He's probably going to go back to Jim City. He's going to have Scalvini on his left. Fagioli's going to come in. Ruggeri's there. Plays it to him. Here's Cup Miners. Tried a quick one-hitter to find De Catalere behind, who was being watched by Bremer. Jim City over to Toloi. Again, Juve in their shell. Toloi is going to overlap after a dish to De Bruyne. Lookman. Jim City over to De Bruyne. To Zappacosta. To De Bruyne. Over to Toloi. He's going to have a cross in. McKennie chests it down for Szczesny. Slightly unorthodox. Slightly. Cambiaso on it. On the left side. In for Danilo. To Locatelli. Locatelli has Gatti slightly ahead of him. McKennie's making a move up that right flank. Gatti. Inside for Fagioli, who can't settle it. Ederson now finding Lookman. Quickly closed down. One back by Juve. That's great. Move the ball quicker. Oh, Fagioli had a line there. Wanted it. Nice flip ahead by Locatelli. Cambiaso inside for Fagioli. Fagioli over to McKennie, and that's too soft. Possession was... Oh, my God. That's a soft call. McKennie had beautiful position on that one. That is so soft, man. That is... awful. Awful officiating. My word. Pathetic. And Fagioli needs to wake up here. Let's go, kid. Here's Ruggeri on the left. McKennie closing him down. Inside to Scalvini. Cup Miners making a move on the left flank. McKennie watching him. Brutal forward pass from Cup Miners, but it's going to be a throw in very, very deep in Juve's territory. Oh, yeah, Master G. Never a foul there. Shocking stuff, but the officiating's just garbage. And it's not just Serie A. We have to be real here. McKennie on this one. He's going to throw this one as far as he can. It's high. It's beyond Keane even. And Ruggeri can only have it out for another Juventus throw-in. Kenny should just bowl over Gasparini there. There you go, McKennie. Over to Danilo there. Rabiot on it in the middle. Finding McKennie now on the right. Come on, you guys. Let's get moving here. Pick up the pace. Locatelli to Danilo. Move the ball and do so with some goddamn drive. Let's go. Here's Cambiaso. No, Chiesa. Over to Gatti. McKennie. To Gatti. Oh, inside. Chiesa. Oh, he's on it. Found it there. Play off Keane. Oh, he lays it off. Decent idea. But was always going to be hard and tight there. Here's McKennie on it after Keane wins it back. Gatti. Over to McKennie. Caught in tight. Ruggeri closed him down quick. It's getting a little frustrating out there. Atalanta does this well. They take away your space quickly. They close down quickly. It's very, very important that we start to anticipate and start moving that ball way, way quicker. Or we're not going to really challenge them too much. Here's Cup Miners and Scalvini with a quick little exchange. Back to Jim City at the back. To Toloi. No, De Bruyne who's dropped back now to Toloi. Zappacosta. Again, Atalanta just around the perimeter right now. Juve, again, in that shell, offering little pressure at the back line. Ederson comes back to collect. Has Scalvini now, who's moving forward. Takes it inside, finding cup miners. Played it inside. Good challenge as Rabiot comes back to clean it up. Bremer looking for an option. Plays it in for Locatelli. Locatelli now over to the left side for Cambiaso. Juve has a little bit of space to move forward. He's taking that space. Lookman coming back to help. Here's Chiesa. Quick 1-2 with Cambiaso. Back to Chiesa. Zappacosta's coming in quick. You got to wake up, man. Let's go. Anticipate. Why are we so slow? It's like you don't think the opponent's going to be playing here or come at you. Like the urgency is just at an all-time low right now. Let's go, you guys. It's like you think they're going to let you make these 3-foot passes back and forth 20 times. Let's go. I've already seen it enough times to just be furious already. Wake up. Rabiot trying to settle that one down. It's not a high boot. The ball just came up and clipped him in the head after. Let's go. Play on. Ball over the top from Luca trying to find McKennie. Gatti doing well to challenge in there. Cup Miners wins it though, and here's a long ball. And Bremer, oh my God, trying to head it back and then ends up just having to clear it. Holy, whatever. As long as it didn't end up in anything worse, that's fine. Gatti just couldn't flip that one over. Man, we have got to pick up the urgency here. A couple of guys that I was looking for to have like strong showings for us that we need are Chiesa and Fagioli, and right now they've been a day late, a buck short. Pick it up. Here's Locatelli moving forward. He's got nowhere to go, though, and no support coming in here. Earns a soft foul, too. Like, don't take your space away so fast if you're not going to have an option, Luca. Come on, you guys. Let's go. We just don't have our legs about us. Come on. Luca on it. Inside to Fagioli. Quickly plays it out to the right for Gatti. Back to Locatelli. Cambiaso's come centrally. Defense is split. Locatelli now all the way over to the left side. That's a good play. Inside for Chiesa. Let's go. You're going to be closed down quick. We got to move and support each other. Here's Cambiaso now inside. And an awful ball to switch field. What the fuck, you guys? Are we serious today? I don't think we're fucking serious today. Holy shit. Atalanta on possession now on the right flank. Lookman with a bad pass back, and now Chiesa can try to attack Atalanta. Cuts it inside for Cambiaso. Cambiaso, little one touch inside for Danilo's moving forward. Plays it over for Fagioli. McKennie now. Nobody outside wide because McKennie had come in. Bremer and Gatti with a quick exchange. Locatelli asking for it. He gets it now. McKennie moves inside. Here's Fagioli and back to Gatti. Gatti all the way over to the left side for Bremer. And Bremer's going to go back to Gatti now. Fagioli is dropped back to try and collect. It's over to the flank for McKennie. Trying to have a ball in left-footed. Doesn't make it past the first line. Luckily goes back to Gatti for our possession. Bremer on it. Fagioli's come back to collect. He's on it now. Scanning. He's got no options and nobody's moving. Bremer's standing right next to him. Here's Locatelli coming back now. McKennie trying to flip this one on to get to Keane. He does. And now McKennie just flips it forward. Trying to create a little bit of havoc here. Come on. Got to get tougher on the 50-50s, boys. Making it way too easy for Atalanta to get out of certain scenarios. Look at how easy they're just passing through to get out. And now they're on our flank running back at us. Rabiot. Keeping tabs on the right side on Toloi. Zappacosta. Here's De Bruyne. Toloi to Ederson. Lookman. Fagioli's watching him. He's cutting inside. Plays it inside for Scalvini, who tried to have it back to him. It's cut out. Locatelli now finding Chiesa. Chiesa, oh, way too hard trying to find Rabiot making the run on the right side. Guys, the execution's piss poor. Piss poor. And to be honest, when you're dropping so far back, right, into a shell to defend, and then you're trying to cut forward, it's harder because you almost have to cheat a couple guys and keep them up there at all times to help create that space for you to transition to. This is a very, very difficult one right now. No offensive flow, no chemistry. Same issue last 2 seasons. We're not playing as a unit. Allegri ball. Let it out, everybody. Let it out, everybody. Come on. Let it out. Let out those feelings. Rabiot chests it, but controlled by Atalanta. Coming back at us. Locatelli does well to clean it up. Bremer pops it forward, but only as far as Scalvini. But there's Gatti, and he cleans it up and gets a chunk of his man at the same time. Love it. Let's go. Rabiot on it now, heading it down for Fagioli. Back to McKennie. A little cheeky heel back to Gatti. Gatti's going to go all the way to the left for Danilo. Come on, you guys. Get moving here. Where's his option on the flank? Nowhere to be found is the answer. Now Szczesny trying to play it up there. It's Chiesa. Oh my God, he skins him. Chiesa's off to the race. De Royne's coming in to challenge him. Cuts inside. Cuts back to his left. Oh, tried to have a hit with the left. It ends up getting blocked. Zappacosta trying to keep that one in. He's not going to do so. Throw in deep in Atalanta's territory for Juventus. Chiesa absolutely skinning Toloi there on the line. Come on. Well, Shatterstar, happy to see you here. Drop a like. Not as good as we would have liked. Not as good as we would have liked so far to start, but it's 0-0, and we can definitely do a lot better, so that's a positive. We can do much, much better. Hopefully we crank it up here. Here's Chiesa, and he earned a free kick in a good spot. Come on. Let's go here. And Chiesa got off to a shaky start in this game. Now, let's go. He could start growing. Fagioli could start growing too, and now we're seeing Fagioli get in other positions, not just hugging that right side. Let's go. Let's get these guys moving. Come on, Chiesa. Bury this one. My fear is based on how we play. Even if we buried this one, we would drop back even deeper. But I think you really have to push Atalanta when you have to play them. You have to ask questions. I'm not sold on them at the back. Like, I'm just not. We've left Keane on an island so far. Come on, Chiesa. Hammer this thing short side. Short side curler. Let's go. Chiesa hits the wall. He's going to settle it. Play it. Oh, no. Tries to turn his man. Just keep possession, man. Move it back and let's have it back in the mixer. Sometimes situationally, as much as I love you, it's just sometimes a little too much, bro. Your team's not flying today, man. Like, you're not flying. Like, the easy play, Danilo into Luca, have it back in the mixer. We win it back on the throw-in quickly. Locatelli on it. Oh, finding Fagioli. Oh, he was trying to hit it to Keane. Rabiot's going to let it go out for a corner. Oh, my God. I thought you could have got to that, settled it, and done some. Maybe have a hit. I don't know. Is that just me? Anyways, corner kick to Juventus. Let's watch this. Keane would have been offside. They headed down. Cambiasso set to take this corner kick. Come on. Let's go. Let's get one here. Let's get one here. Cambiasso set to take it. It's going to be an in-swinger off his left. Here's the delivery. Going in. Oh, it goes all the way to the back post. It's Fagioli on it. Has a hit. Stop. Rebound. Keane. Oh, McKennie's trying to head it. Oh, it's cleared out, and that's going to be a high boot to McKennie. De Catalera was trying to head it out. Oh. Fagioli, it fell to him at the back post. Had a shot, forced the stop from Musso, and McKennie couldn't head that one towards goal. Didn't end up being a high boot either. It was his elbow there. Yeah, Musso is always there. Nice attempt from Fagioli, though. McKennie, muscling Ruggeri there to see it out for Juventus throw-in. I'm going to hit you with some stats, everybody, so far. 57% possession for Atalanta, so a lot of work there done by Juve to make that back. 3 attempts for Atalanta, none on target. 3 attempts for Juventus, 1 on target, okay? They're saying Atalanta's created 2 big chances. Well, yeah, I guess you'd consider those ones that Zappacosta had as big. Yeah, so makes sense. He made an absolute mess of them, thankfully, for us. Come on. Big one here. Josh, what's going on? Legend. It's a little nervy right now. Let's put it that way. A little nervy. We've left a lot to be desired in terms of our play, but there are some signs there that we can find one. We can find one, brother. Let's go. Danilo over to Tex. Got Bremer to his right. Bremer's got Gatti just ahead of him, but he's going to carry it up. Bomb this one forward. Looking Keane's way. It's headed inside there. Not McKennie coming in late there. Not fully anticipating. That's okay. Danilo now breaking the lines. Finding Fagioli. No options on that left side. 2 flat back. And just positionally, we've been out of sorts. Very, very strange. Look at Rabiot, Cambiasso in the same space. Started to make the same run. Sort it out. Sort it out. Get the legs going. Let's go. Trying to break this one beyond Toloi for Chiesa. Nothing doing. Danilo drops it inside for... oh, man. Rabiot, who gets cleaned up. Here's McKennie. Tries to turn Ruggeri there. He's doing okay. Inside for Gatti. Oh, taken out by Ederson. You got to be careful here, McKennie, because Gatti's pushed forward. They're on the run. Here's Cup Miners on the left. Cup Miners plays it up. Zappacosta is going to drop it for Lookman. Lookman doing work against Rabiot. Rabiot just containing him. That's fine. Forces him out to Ederson. Oh, that's a nice play inside. Oh, Bremer picked it up quickly, but you can't get caught like that outside so easily. Like I said, these are the guys that give us the biggest problems. These shifty, quick moving players like that. The bigger physical forwards we usually handle quite well, but man, these guys, they find space against us so easily. Come on. McKennie back to Gatti. Gatti Bremer. Let's go, you guys. Danilo now. Over to Gatti on the right. Come on. Even our passes could use a little more heat. Get them there with some urgency. Come on. Pass it with some kind of vigor. Let's go. Chiesa. Trying to do work here. The overlap on him finally comes from Rabiot, but it doesn't matter anyway. Here's Keane, does well. Turn his guy. He's going to try and have a hit. Forces Musso to save. Relatively easy save, but good work from Moise Keane there. And Musso quickly has this one out looking for De Catalare, and Bremer just heads it, and it's easily played back to Tech by Danilo. A lovely cleanup there, and now Juve's back in possession, and now let's go. Locatelli calling for the move to space for Gatti. Here's Gatti. He's going to move it forward. Stop. Back to Fagioli. Back to Gatti. Inside looking for Chiesa. Lovely little back pass, but the help is too slow. He does get the foul there, but let's go, you guys. On your toes. Cambiasso hasn't seemed himself last couple appearances. Keane did well there against Jim City, and then Scalvini had the shot. Relatively easy for Musso, but good work there. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. We got a free kick here. Cambiaso limping. Getting back into play here. Over to Fagioli. Fagioli to Gatti. Scanning back to Fagioli. Come on. Let's go, you guys. To Bremer. To Danilo. Danilo to Bremer. Over to Locatelli. Gatti's on it. Left footed going over the top. It's cut out. Rabiot doing battle. Settles it for Fagioli. Fagioli gets it to Danilo. Fagioli upset about something. Having some words at the back there. Looked to Locatelli. Might have been giving him some direction that he didn't like or something. McKennie. And McKennie's saying something. He's trying to communicate with Allegri after letting the pass off. Let's go, you guys. Wake up. Danilo. Cambiaso. Bremer. Over to... That's a bad pass there from Bremer. Trying to squeeze one over to McKennie. Gets cut out. Ederson in the middle. Doing battle with Locatelli. Nothing doing. Ederson comes out with it. Running out over to Zappacosta. He's going to cross it in. There it is. Cleared out. Scalvini now settles it. Here's De Bruyne. Inside for Lookman. And his shot's blocked. It's going to go out of bounds there. And Zappacosta going to take the throw in for Atalanta. Lookman. They want him to redo the throw. Zappacosta is going to redo the throw in. Here it is. Nerun. Jim City. Over to Ruggeri. Played in there. Oh, Cup Miners through the back on Gatti. Earns a foul there. Good work from Gatti. Strong showing for him today. Has to be one of... Put that Sassuolo match in the back burner, that's for sure. Here's Szczesny. Gonna have this one back in. He's calling everybody up. Let's go, Bomber up. And yeah, Gatti is playing good today. And he has to. Has to. Keane heads it forward. Rabiot now. Back Keane doing battle. Locatelli on it. Back to Gatti. Gatti pops it up. Just forward ahead. Nobody really there as Keane had dropped back. Fagioli's putting pressure on Musso. Musso's just going to launch this one. Bremer set to head it down. He does to Rabiot. Holy, Rabiot says deal with this to Locatelli. Danilo has to come in and just, we got to get a foot in there here and there. Nobody anticipating anything. Awful passes, a toe in here. We're not fluid, that's for sure. But to be honest, we're not really giving Atalanta much either. At the start, we were surrendering a lot of space, but we've done well in terms of battling for that space back and possession. Here's McKennie cutting one out. 1-2 with Fagioli. He's moving forward. Scalvini's ahead of him. Cuts it inside for Rabiot. Rabiot to Chiesa. To Locatelli. Over to Danilo. Back to Locatelli. Nobody is moving anymore. Look at everybody up top. Nobody is moving. Chiesa walking. Keane walking. Come and get that ball. And we go all the way back. And it's Bremer and Gatti and Danilo exchanging. Gatti here. McKennie. Back to Gatti. Not enough. Come on, you guys. Gatti. Over to Bremer. Little touch there. Just putting Cambiaso under. Like, let's go, you guys. 4 attempts for each team. Here's Fagioli. Finds himself on the right side. Slowing it down again. Looking for some options. Finds a nice ball to Rabiot. Oh my God. takes that one off a trampoline and easily gives possession back to Atalanta. This is just shoddy execution by our players. Shoddy execution. Like, that is just a shocking touch with acres of space. Okay? Not even feeling the pressure there, and that's Rabiot's touch. Come on, man. Let's go. It's the 40th minute in this match. Let's get your touch about. Like, I have no problems with a touch like that. Opening 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. 40th minute? With no pressure on you? Fucking hell. Gatti has some space here. McKennie's going to push Ruggeri back. Played into McKennie. Oh, yeah, he does well there. Looking for options. Finding Cambiaso's drop back. He's going to switch it out over to the left flank where Fagioli occupies it. Crossing, going back post, but Musso easily comes out there and grabs it. Cup Miners trying to force the issue, but it's cut out by Gatti. Locatelli wants the ball here. In for Fagioli. Back to Locatelli. We got to get moving, you guys. Nobody's moving. Ahead of Locatelli. Where do you want him to play this ball? Nobody's moving. We're just standing there. Chiesa eventually starts making the run, and it's way too late. Like, let's go. Gatti moves inside. Misses the opportunity to find a midfielder. Danilo now on it. Now over to Locatelli. He's scanning. Not much doing. He's just going to go over to Danilo. Still has options on his left. Bremer comes into the space there. That's great. Have a player to your left. He plays it to him. Cambiaso. And back for Danilo. Gatti wants it now. He's got space there. Back and forth between the defense here. Let's get it out here, boys. Get it to somebody we want to quarterback the play. We don't want Bremer, Danilo, or Gatti to quarterback the play. Get a midfielder back. Pick up this fucking ball, you guys. Everybody is level with the back line. You're not going to get the ball there. Come back and collect it and then move. Distribute and move. Don't just end up at your final location. This is shocking to watch. Let's go. This is shades of last year in terms of offensive ideas. Here's Chiesa, and he does well. Take on Scalvini, man. Calling for the touch. It's going to be a corner kick for Juve. Finish off the half with a goal here on a corner. Come on, let's go. Let's go, you guys. Corner kick here. Come on, Juve. Find a goal. If there's one thing we're good on, at least it's set pieces and we create havoc. Maybe we could find a scrappy goal here and at least come out of the half with a 1-goal lead. Some type of boost. Here's Chiesa. Ball's in. It's going back post. Headed down from Gatti, but Zappacosta there to clear it out. Being put under by Fagioli. He's going to see it out. It's going to be Atalanta throw. Almost at half, everybody, and holy. A questionable start. Juve grew in it, but we've got a lot to do in terms of play. This reminds me a lot of last year in terms of guys moving and just standing stagnant level with the back line. It's useless. It's useless. Come back, collect. Come back, collect. Move, distribute the ball, then make your run and try and end up there. Rabiot on a yellow card at 44th minute. Joe Cappuccino not off on his prediction, not by much. He said Rabiot would get the yellow card at the 30th minute. This is a tight one, everybody. I've stopped the ticker at 45 minutes, 8 seconds. Okay, we'll obviously pick it up in the second half. We've got 1 minute of stoppage time. It's already halfway gone. Atalanta in possession at the back. We're going to get everybody's thoughts firing through at halftime here. Gatti easily muscling off to Catalera, but the ball's staying in place, so he has to play it. Now they are calling that it went out, called back for a throw-in, but the minute's up on added time. This is going to be blown dead for halftime, everybody. McKennie, the throw-in across to Danilo. The whistle's going to go. And there it is. It's halftime, everybody. Let's get into this here. And first of all, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Okay. I love the fact that, we've got a bunch of you in here today to share this. All right. So absolutely love doing these things. I'm glad you enjoy the commentary. Now, this half, statistically, we saw where we started off in terms of possession, and it was a nightmare. And Juve had to get in there, had to start getting on the ball more and asking some questions of Atalanta. It was at 1.76% possession, and it was frustrating, okay? However, we got back to a point where Juve finished off with 53% possession, okay, to 47 for Atalanta. Total attempts on target from both teams, you got 4 on both sides. 2 attempts on target for Juve, no attempts on target for Atalanta. But Atalanta, the only big chances created, that was the absolute mess from Zappacosta. Zappacosta, thank you once again from Juventini worldwide, because you made an absolute mess of that after shocking defending and big miscommunication between Danilo and Rabiot to not pick up on the fact that Zappacosta was moving in from there. Okay, so we got away with that. Overall, Juve did grow into this game. We did get on to possession more. We started moving the ball better and getting into it. Chiesa had a brutal start. Fagioli had a brutal start, but they grew into this game. Overall, though, we started to see what we were doing a lot of last year. And something I called in this match that I've noticed these past few matches is, again, if we're going to drop so far back, you can't just bomb forward and expect it to work. You're going to bomb the ball forward, and these guys are going to be isolated. Moise Kean was isolated for the most part, all right? And it just wasn't working. So then, okay, once we started growing possession, still, what'd you see? A lot of cycling between Danilo, Bremer, Gatti. Not guys you want quarterbacking the play, okay? So they were not quarterbacking. We don't want them quarterbacking the play. Then when it got to Locatelli, Fagioli, and some key scenarios, what did you see? You saw all our guys lined up with the back line and barely any movement. So when the ball got to our trigger guys, there's nothing for them to do. There's nowhere for them to play the ball. Nobody is moving. We're too stagnant in general. And what do you see Atalanta do? A team like Atalanta, what were they doing against us? You would see their guys like Lucci come back, De Catalere come back. They come back, they pick up the ball, they'd move it, and then what they do after they distribute? Then they make their run to their end point. Juve is falling into the trap that we were last season, where we end up at our end point and we just end up standing there. It's not going to work. We got to build up together, and the guys are going to have to cycle in and rotate. You can't just go and stand up at the front with the last line of defense. We're in for a long season if that's going to be our ideas offensively. It's got to be better. Got to be better. We're going to get to some of your comments here. Let's see what everybody's thinking here. So, Drughi Bianconeri, Fagioli Cambiasso, poor. Vasco saying substandard effort again. Really, how long are we going to wait for change? I think, again, it's going to be... I'm not going to say a substandard effort because it picked up and it's better. It's still, for the most part, and especially with teams that line up essentially the same as we do, pushing those flanks. If we don't have the space to generate, now that you think about it against the teams that we did well and the games look well again this year, think about those games. There was space on the flanks. When teams take that space away from us is when we struggle the most to create opportunities. We have to be better. We have to find a way. And this is going to be one of those same criticisms that when plan A doesn't go right, we don't have the gears. We don't have that next gear. We don't have that alternative. And this is what's happening again. Atalanta's taken away the space for... Cambiasso has been rendered almost non-existent in this game. McKennie's doing well, despite being closed down by Ruggeri immediately, every single time. So if we have to figure out how to do this. We have to figure out how to play through that. But we'll see what happens. This is what we get as fans. Another 45 minutes of absolute crap. Well, I can't say it was absolutely crap. Atalanta did nothing either. Okay? This is a tight game. And it's two teams that stylistically line up the same. And again, that space that they like to operate in is being taken away. The difference is that Atalanta may look like they can do a little bit more because their guys are rotating in and out nicer up top. And our guys need to do better of that. And maybe Moise Kean might have to come out because of the lack of ability to do so effectively. Drop back, come in, and then go. Maybe you may have to try somebody like a Yildiz to get involved there, but that's risky business. Yildiz and Chiesa up top alone, you're still going to want a physical body. But that's what I'm saying is that with Kean, we might be lacking in that. But Chiesa, he's got to get way more involved. And there was a couple times when the ball fell to Fagioli, Locatelli, and Chiesa was again standing. He's got to get with it too. I know there's a lot on him, being our main creator and everything, but he really does. He really does have to pick it up. Let's see what happens. Let's see what will happen. How are we playing? Well, you could see in the chat how some feel, but ultimately it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay. Dell's saying it's okay because we'll bundle the ball over the line somehow in the second half and all will be forgiven. Uninspiring performance from Juve. We're clearly out there to nullify Atalanta. I just see, again, a lot of the same in terms of we're actually good defensively. Okay? We had other than the one lapse where Rabiot and Danilo missed picking up Zappacosta, Atalanta didn't do anything, you guys. Defensively, we're okay. It comes down to the same thing, and I've been saying this. We need to find alternatives in terms of creation, okay? And the guys are going to have to ramp up the execution, but they're really going to have to get the legs moving. They got to get in there. We got to move way more. It's way too flat and stagnant. I'm seeing some history repeating itself. And you could put that down to whoever. I don't really care ultimately because I'm not about the blame game. I just need it to change, and I need us to be more effective. We can't come out of a half of football with the best opportunity, essentially being a shot from Kean from 25 yards out after having to beat two guys. Something's got to change, but we're having a tough time because they're shutting down the flanks so quick. Cambiasso is practically invisible in this game. McKennie's doing good work, but limited. We got to move way more. We got to help each other. We got to support each other. But Juve's going to have to push, and they're going to have to send some numbers to get a goal. Kean was fighting. I give him all the props in the world because he was fighting. Absolutely. Oliver saying, Rabiot, Fagioli, Cambiasso are crap today. Yeah, and I mean, it all kind of plays in. We had those moments where those, like, Fagioli, Locatelli are on the ball, and while everybody has the same criticism, like, they got to do something. They got to move the ball, like, find somebody. Nobody was moving if you watched in those sequences. And when I replay the game today, I'm, like, later on tonight, I'm probably going to freeze frame some of these. There's just little to nothing for movement. And, yeah, that's going to come down to some coaching. We got to figure this out. So, even if Magnanelli's been brought into this, we still can't do anything when teams take away that flank play. And it's got to be way, way better. Way, way better. But the players, as far as their execution, yeah, they got to pick it up a notch. And some of the 50-50s at the start of the game, that's why I say It's not all crap in the first half because it started off so soft and passive from Juve, but they grew into it. They slowly started winning the ball back quicker, getting involved in those 50-50s and whatnot. But still, ultimately, we need a lot more in the second half. Atalanta, expect them to do a lot of the same of what they're doing, but I think we're handling them good defensively. But they can ultimately get a goal at any point because of how they play, sending numbers forward, attacking like that. But for us, yeah, we're going to have to dial it up. We're going to have to send numbers. I'm going to give you guys the ratings coming out of the first half. Keep in mind, this is from SofaScore, okay? 6.7 for Szczesny. I mean, not a lot of work there. They all start at 6. I just got them at a 6. Danilo's at a 7.1 for SofaScore. All our guys across the back from here are 6.5, doing their jobs relatively well, to be honest. So 6.5, I have no problem there. I don't know if any of them push to a 7. There's probably a lot of 6.5s right across the board for me. I don't think anybody deserves to go negative, but some are probably just even keel 6. Weston McKennie's at 6.6. I thought, yeah, he'd have to be around a 6.5 for sure. Fagioli's at a 6.8. I'm not seeing it. I think an even 6 there, but slowly started to grow in the later minutes of the first half. So hopefully a big second half for him. Locatelli at a 6.7. Not seeing it. Even 6 for me. Rabiot at a 6.6. Even 6 for me. Cambiasso at a 6.6. No. Again, nothing detrimental, but nothing good. Even 6. Chiesa at a 6.5. Keane at a 6.7. Chiesa really only created everything by himself. 6.5, sure. Keane, just for the hard work he's doing and being left on an island. I mean, again, when your ratings are like that, tells you a lot about how the game's going. Now, big question mark on Luca. I have absolutely no idea what his role is. He needs to step up big time. Again, though, Jeremiah, I will go back to the opportunities in that first half. What was he going to do? Collect the ball there. He's staring dead at the top of the area, and absolutely nobody came in to collect. Nobody tried to make a run beyond. There was 0 options. 0 options. So again, like, I want more from everybody. Like, it's just to spot guys here and there and whatnot. And sure, like, you have that Rabiot opportunity. He's running. Could be running at the defense and takes a trampoline touch and easily gives possession back to Atalanta. Shocking in the 40th minute, whatever minute it was, where we could be running at them and he takes that touch. That kind of shit pisses me off. But when these guys are on the ball, again, like, I'd be curious to see a breakdown. If somebody can give me a statistic of how much time out of our possession was spent at the feet of Gatti, Bremer, and Danilo. I would love to see a statistic on that, because that is going to tell me so much about what we do, because it's not at the feet of the guys it needs to be enough. But not only that, when it gets in the feet of the guys we need to it, what are the situations? What are the circumstances? What are they looking at? For me, I don't see any movement. And if you look at our good games this season, there's 2 things that stand out. How the other team plays on the flanks and the movement. When Juve moves the ball around slow like this and stands around, we're an awful, awful squad. Awful to watch. Brutal. When you combine that with a team that also spreads out wide and shuts down your flanks, you get these games. So it's not surprising that first half went the way it did. Okay? It's not surprising. We'll see what happens in the second half. How's everybody feel about their predictions? I had 2-2 draw, and I thought there would be some goals. But you know what? This could easily be, like some predicted, a 1-0. It could be the team that finds one takes the 3 points. Paul West coming in here with the 1-0. Hey, there was quite a few 1-0 shouts in the preview show this morning? Could be that. Could be a 1-0. RB said a 3-1. It could be a 1-0. 2-1. Could easily be a 0-0. Could be a 0-0. Feel a couple of subs and big change on the whole pitch. What would you guys do for subs? What would you do? There was shouts earlier. I saw Tony Trim saying Illing Jr. could help. See the club getting ready to come out. Squad getting ready to line up again. Come on, let's get a big second half here, guys. Need a little more cafe for the nerves. McKenny, I'm happy you're always in a good mood. You're smiling. There's not much to smile about, man. Let's get a fucking goal. Come on. Come on. Luca says Illing Jr., Miretti, Weah. The thing for me with Weah is who do you take off because McKenny's actually done well. I would not put Weah in for McKenny right now. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'm not ready to bail on Fagioli in the middle of the park now. So if Miretti comes in, do you take Rabiot? Illing Jr. for Cambiasso? Not necessarily against that. Not necessarily against that. Abby, we'll see you after the match. We'll see you after the match. Weah in for Keane. All right. Man, I was hinting at trying to get Yildiz into this, and maybe you play him out of the midfield. It's a risk. It's a risky thing, but almost like a 3-4-1-2 where he plays behind Keane and Chiesa to assist. Because you're going to want, no matter how Rabiot's playing today, you're going to want him in for the defensive duty. Like, you're going to want him in there. You don't want Luca. So the thing is, if you bring Yildiz in, I don't want to sacrifice Keane and his presence. That's the only way I see getting Yildiz in, but it might be an interesting play. Rabiot heads it up. Oh, trying to put it in Keane's strike. Keane's creating problems there. Just can't get that ball to settle. And now Ruggeri's going to have it out on the left flank. Into Scalvini. There is press there from Juve. Bremer puts a little bit of muscle in behind there, and Cup Miners is going to get the call. That's okay, Bremer. Give him the business. It's all good. We have Rabiot on a yellow card. We say that pretty much every game, so don't worry about it. No concern. I'm just stating it. We got Sassuolo on the ball here with Darun on the right. Back to Gym City. To Ederson. Trying to play a little 1-2. There's Lookman. Ederson. Lookman. Another 1-2 exchange. Now over to Gym City. Darun's dropped back. But he's going to go to Scalvini. To Ederson. Over to Lookman. Fagioli keeping tabs there. Cuts inside. Played off to Scalvini. Rabiot watching him. Drop back, but Ederson's going to have a chance to cross this one back post. Oh my God. And again, Zappacosta at the back post there with absolutely nobody on. Man. So Cambiasso watching the Catalare there, and Zappacosta coming in completely unmarked. sketchy look there on us not being able to pick up the fact that there is an outside wing back that could come into play again. We'll see what happens. Cambiasso back to Locatelli. He's got to go back to Szczesny. Szczesny to Bremer. Bremer back to Szczesny. Flat four here as Cambiasso has dropped back on this left side. Over to Danilo. Back to Tech. Tech now. Gonna launch it for Rabiot. Little flick on. Too far beyond Chiesa. Keane's offering a light press for Musso. Into Gym City. Back to Musso. Over to Scalvini. Scalvini in for Gym City. Now to Ederson. Locatelli coming over now. Lookman's on it. McKennie watching him. Here's a ball inside to De Catalare. Cuts in. Oh, through ball. Always was going to be tough to try and hit his man. And that goes out. It's going to be a Juve goal kick here. I have completely missed the timer, everybody. Holy smokes. What's going on here? Can I fix that? I don't think I can. My bad. My bad. Nice if I could. No. Damn. You win some, you lose some. I was too into the game. I'm too tight watching here. I'm nervous. And it's off to such a slow start. We're at 49th minute here. Slow start to the second half. And starting off the way the first half started, the game started, with Atalanta on possession here. And Juve standing off in their defensive shell here. Toloi's on it. Has Zappacosta there, plays it into him. Quickly closed down from Cambiasso. Rabiot now getting involved. Finds Chiesa. And now we're running at them. Oh, Chiesa's touch just too far. Cleaned up, but Locatelli stays on it. Tries to switch it up here. It's cut out. And Luca, you just can't stand back. You got to press there if you're going to cut in there. Here's De Catalare running back at Juve. Tries to get the ball across. Ederson has space, though. He's probably going to have a hit. There it is, but it's high and wide of Szczesny's goal. Come on. Come on. Let's go. We got to get going here. We got to get going here. Bremer. Ball at the back. Like I said, a very, very slow, sluggish start to the second half here. Danilo bombing this one forward. Oh, that's a bad back touch. Chiesa's on it. Left-footed shot forces a stop from Musso. Rebound coming out. Headed out from Gym City, and now they can only have it out for a throw. Oh, that was a fortunate fall there at the feet of Chiesa. Oh, come on. Let's go. 51st minute. Don't mind my clock, everybody. Apologies. Apologies. It's shocking that it won't let me start it at a certain time, though. 3 minutes off, essentially. Szczesny looking for Keane, doing well to chest that one down. Finds Rabiot, and there's Rabiot driving forward, dishing off to McKennie. Kenny, over to Locatelli, over to Bremer. Take your space. Here's Chiesa. Oh, nice little finding Keane there. Keane quickly closed down. Back to Chiesa. Little one touch for Rabiot. Oh, tried to go back. Chiesa tried to sell a trip there. Left the ball. Danilo trying to step in on De Catalare. There's a challenge there, and he's going to get probably cautioned here on the slide challenge. Yellow card for Danilo. Yeah, that's a hard one there from Danilo. Oof. Back foot planted too. Yeesh. Oh, Don Moji. Don Moji. Is there a trophy for the most yellow cards? That'd be sweet. Trophy's a trophy. Danilo and Rabiot on yellows. We're at 53 minutes, 33 seconds. Atalanta on the ball. Quickly moving it out to Ederson on the left. Plays up for Ruggeri. Back to Ederson. Cup Miners has moved more centrally. Here's Lookman. Back to Ederson. He's scanning. Only goes back to Ruggeri, who's going to move back to Scalvini. He's going to go to Gym City. He's got to go all the way back to Musso. Takes way too long for Cambiasso to come up and help with some type of pressure. Toloi, it's all day. Exchanges with Darun, and Atalanta can easily move up the left side of the pitch now. Ederson again. Lookman dropping in. Dishing out to Ruggeri, then going. In for Ederson. To Lookman. Back to Scalvini. And over to Gym City. And here's Cup Miners now finding himself on the right side. Inside to De Catalere. Over to Zappacosta. To Gym City. Atalanta just knocking it about around the outside. Waiting for some type of movement, some type of openings. Juventus doing well to just keep Atalanta in front of them. Closing down when they get deeper. Offering more space on the perimeters, but closing down as they get tighter. Here's De Catalare coming all the way back to Gym City. In for Darun. Back to Gym City. De Catalare now moving back up. Forward. Ederson. It's over to Toloi. To Cup Miners. Into Toloi. Into Lookman. Toloi. Over to Ederson. Into Lookman. One touch. Cleaned up by Bremer. Fagioli on it. Over to McKennie. McKennie. There's an option forward. Just got to have the frame of mind, the mindset to play it on a one-touch. Give our players a chance when they are making those. Atalanta on this one, so a lot of possession so far to start the second half. We're at 56 minutes, 30 seconds almost, and all Atalanta on the ball here to start the second half. De Catalare, Danilo closes that down quickly, has it out. It's going to be Atalanta throwing. Zappacosta going to take it. Going back for Toloi. And look at how far back Juve is. Look at Keane and Chiesa. Level with the midfield. Cup Miners on it. Finding Darun. He's got space. Here's De Catalere. Over to Zappacosta. Toloi's up there. Now he has a cross in, back post. Cleared out. But possession stays with Atalanta. Lookman on it deep in the corner. Here's McKennie playing it forward. Keane can turn. Loses it way too cheap, but he does get the foul. Holy smokes, you guys. This is crazy. We gotta pick things up here. And we might have to see some changes. Here's Tech. Playing it over to Cambiaso on the left side. In for Fagioli. He's got to go back for Tech. Tech now on the ground to Locatelli. Locatelli coming inside for Keane. Off his chest and way forward. Here's Rabiot. Gets a foul there. And we're just like, we seem so frantic. Like when we do try to move up, like it's just so choppy, frantic, like it's weird. Locatelli quickly has it in for Fagioli. And Fagioli again just asking for these guys to move. Danilo and Locatelli standing right next to each other. Danilo plays it to him. Locatelli scanning now. Over to Cambiaso. He's got nowhere to go. Little play forward for Chiesa. Right back to Cambiaso. Locatelli wants it. He's dropped right back with our defense. He now pops it over to the right side for Gatti. Gatti's got space. He's going to run in. He's going to use his body to muscle off Lookman. Plays it over to McKennie. Kenny has a cross in. Deflected and then still goes over Keane's head. Fagioli trying to do battle here. Got to win that 50-50. Here's Bremer on it. Over to Fagioli. 1-2 with Bremer. And again, look at the movement, everybody. Look at the movement. Next to nothing there. And we can't complete a 10-footer and lose possession like this. This is insane to me. Absolutely insane. Low level of football here. De Catalare here. Inside for Toloi. Space starting to open it up here for Atalanta if they can find the right gaps here. Ruggeri here. McKennie close it down. Here's a left foot. And it's going to go all the way to the back post here. Cambiaso trying to apply some pressure here on De Catalare. He's trying to have it through Chiesa and Cambiaso. Both lose it. De Catalare, going back post there. Cross beyond Gatti's head, but it's going to go out. Are they saying a touch? Ryan, I'll tell you right now. First off, thank you for joining. Drop a like if you can, please. But a lot to be desired from Juventus in this one. It's shocking stuff. Shocking stuff. It's just not crisp. We're getting set for Muriel to come in for Atalanta. Atalanta's got the corner kick, so they're claiming touch there. Here's a cross in. Headed out from Bremer. Cambiaso does well to flick on beyond. Here's Fagioli. Here's Chiesa's off to the races. He wants a ball out there. Fagioli plays it to him. Oh, he can't settle it. Oh, that was a great turn. Great turnaround. Fagioli did see it. Oh, if he would have saw it a little early and pulled the trigger when I thought he would, he could have curled it around the defense and something a little bit easier for Chiesa to settle. Execution. That was a moment where the execution needed to be precise. Unfortunately for us, it wasn't. Atalanta back on the ball. We're at 61 minutes, 18 seconds in. De Catalare lined up with Danilo. He does well to win that there. Plays it up for Chiesa. Chiesa settling it back to Danilo. Get the movement. Start moving, guys. Standing there the whole game. Bremer on it now. I don't want these guys quarterbacking the play. Cambiaso to Danilo here. Locatelli's right next to you. Give him the ball. He goes to Bremer. The amount of time Bremer, Danilo, Gatti spend on the ball. Get it to the guys we want moving it. And now we can't. They just try a long ball up for Keane. He loses it. Fucking hell, lads. Di Catalare. Cup Miners. Zappacosta. Back to Di Catalare. He's going to go back. Toloi. We'll find Gym City, and they have a bunch of space on the left side. Darun back to Gym City. Over to Ederson. He's got space ahead of him. He's going to take a look. Drops it to Toloi on the right. Now to Cup Miners. Cup Miners. Toloi. Zappacosta. All the way over. Opposite side, De Bruyne. Over to Ruggeri. Here's a cross. It's coming in. Rabiot at the back post. Flicked on. Chiesa. Can't stop it. Toloi. Ball in. Cambiasso, you got to have it out, man. Just get rid of it. Holy shit. Luca, nice settle. Play it in. Here's Fagioli. We got space. Come on. Over to McKennie. Quickly close down. Plays it in for Locatelli. He's scanning. There you go. You got an option. Over to Chiesa. Plays it inside for Keane. Oh, he tries to turn his man. It's way too predictable, man. You can't lose it there. Now Atalanta's running back at Juve. Over to Lookman. Gatti. Just contain, man. Just contain. Let your guys get back in position. Contain. McKennie, go get him out of there. Catalare turning Bremer here, and never going to have anything really amounting to much from there. But, oh my God. 64 minutes. Got to expect some changes here. We look at that ball from Fagioli. Probably should have let him a little bit more than him trying to have to settle that. Atalanta's going to make a change. It looks like Lookman's coming off. So Muriel and Kolasinac coming in for Lookman and Scalvini. I don't understand this game anymore. TNT, brother. Maybe just let's not try to attempt to understand much out of this one, but frustrating. Okay. Juve still no changes from Massimiliano Allegri. 65 minutes on the button here. Don't mind my clock that's off. I was daydreaming at the start. Cambiasso on the left, inside for Fagioli. There's a switch to Bremer. Plays it ahead. Oh, McKennie tries a one-touch there. Doesn't happen. Locatelli comes in, cleans it up. Back touch to Bremer. It's going to go to Tech. Cambiasso going to drop over on the left flank. He collects. Cuts inside. And just goes back to Szczesny. Bremer. Rabiot is up level with the forwards right now. And I'm not sure why, because you're never going to collect it up there. There, we try to flick on off him. Nothing doing. Juve does finish up with possession. Here's Fagioli. Over to Bremer. In for Rabiot, who literally passes it to the defender ahead of him, losing it. Ugly start to the second half for Juventus. We're at 66 minutes in. Here's the Catalare. Cambiasso getting a leg in here. Up to Toloi. Played through. Poked through Bremer. Ooh. To Danilo. He's got it to Chiesa. Oh my God. That's too easy there. Chiesa. Here's De Bruyne. Over to Ruggeri. He's probably going to have it in. No, he doesn't. In for Muriel. And Locatelli slides in there, cleans it up. Get back your shape, boys. Come on. Wake up. The problem is that we're asking too much of the guys when they get on the ball. We are going to have some substitutions now. Fagioli's going to come out. Miretti's going to come in. Cambiaso's going to come out. And Kostic is going to come in. So Kostic, Miretti enter the pitch for Juventus in the 67th minute. The funny thing is that exactly what Juve's doing, Atalanta's doing. Like they're not able to implement their game into this either. And they're not adapting to the game. So while we sit here and we're frustrated with Juventus, like not adapting, not changing things, not figuring something else out when your flanks are closed down like that, like Atalanta really hasn't figured it out either. They've had a couple of moments where they could have broken through. Well, Juve did too, but the execution was piss poor. Here's a long ball, trying to go route one from Bremer to Chiesa again, and it's just, we've got to have better ideas, and we got to get on the ball more. We're going to run ourselves ragged not getting on the ball more this second half. We're closing down on the 70th minute, another 20 minutes to go. Get on the ball more, let's go. Ederson's on it. Playing it forward. Here's Muriel. He's going to run at Gatti here. McKennie comes in, cleans it up, but has to get a touch on it. So it's going to be a corner kick for Atalanta. They might be looking to take it short, quick here. If the cameraman would go to the actual field and not the large fellow in the crowd, would be fantastic, Fubo. Here's a cross in, and it's headed on. Oh, foot out from Locatelli. A bike there from Ederson. And it goes over the goal. Man, we got to wake up here. We got to get on the ball and do something here. Here's Miretti earning a foul. That's one thing you could say about him, is he draws a lot of fouls. Kostic into Chiesa, little 1-2, and then Kostic touch beyond him. Di Catalare now finding Zappacosta inside the middle. Nice challenge there, won it back. That was Rabiot. Here's Kostic playing ahead for Keane. Oh, his touch beyond, and it's cut out by Kolasinac. Ederson trying to go on the carpet, cut out by McKennie. Finding Miretti here. Oh, wrong call to go in there, but it still works out for him. Kostic. Fucking way too easy, Kostic. You just came into the game. Come on. There we go. Cuts this one out. Let's go. Puts a fucking muffin of a pass to Chiesa, man. Jesus. Is the ball too heavy for you guys? Get that ball over there. Let's go. Pass it with some goddamn purpose. Toloi gets a chunk of him there. Let's go. Bremer. To Locatelli, who's dropped all the way at the back here. Beyond our defenders. Tech walking out. 25. 25 yards out. To Danilo. Over to Locatelli now. Comes all the way back in the left fullback position. To Kostic. Trying to go inside for Chiesa. It's cut out. Chiesa shouting at Kostic after that ball. Guys, sort it out. Sort it out. Here's Ederson. So 2 minutes playing in for De Catalara. He's going to get the foul there, and this isn't a good spot for Atalanta. Nothing to complain about there, Danilo. That's a foul. Yeah, I mean, Apex, it's true. It's been poor. And it's been poor from everything. Like, it's been poor from the ideas going into this game. If a team that plays the same way as you is going to shut down the flanks, what are the alternatives? What have been our alternatives? I don't see him. Muriel is good at these, you guys. He's lined up. He's one of them lined up over this. So is Cup Miners. Like, this is sketchy here. But it's, and like I was saying, it's execution. It's a game plan. It's what were our alternative ideas if the flanks get shut down? Like, I don't see anything coming through here. This isn't a worrying spot. 73 minutes. Free kick to Atalanta. Cup Miners and Muriel over this. Muriel stepping in. That's a beautiful one off the bar, off Tech and out. Holy shit. Teching getting a piece of that is insane. Oh, just enough. Follow through after on the corner. Falls to Cup Miners and the hit goes above. We're okay. Incredible of Tech to get a piece of that, and it stays out after the bounce. Massive, massive. That's a hell of a strike from Muriel too. I told you he's good at them. He is good at them. That's unreal. Massive, massive from Tech. Come on, you guys. Wake up, Juve. Don't fuck around and give them opportunities. That is how a game can end. And we have Yildiz with Keane going to the bench. Can the Phenom do something for Juventus? Let's see. Bremer to Szczesny. Miretti dropping back, wants this ball. Tech feints it, carries it forward. Excuse me. Finding Kostic on the left. Inside for Rabiot. Oh my God. Trying to go to Chiesa. It's labeled. Locatelli now. To Miretti. To Bremer. Keep it moving. Inside. Miretti. After the touch from Yildiz. There you go. Here's McKennie. He's got just Ruggeri ahead of him. Take him on. It's 1v1. Miretti. Over to Locatelli. Again, where's the movement? He can only go to McKennie. We're probably going to have a cross in as he moves in. Oh, too much, man. Too much. Give your players a chance. 5 players in the area. Give your players a chance. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of them moving into that space? What's the point of us playing it out to the wing? You're not going to give them an opportunity to even get anything. Gatti with a foul there on De Catalara. Advantage to Atalanta. Cup Miners on it. Zappacosta blazing down the right side. He's going to get it. Kostic, close down that space. Here's Cup Miners back on it. Rabiot closing it down. Here's Yildiz closing down De Bruyne. Ruggeri moving up. Inside to Ederson. Scanning. He's going to drop it off for Kolasinac. Ruggeri. Chris, ciao. Welcome. I wish I could say we were playing better, my friend, but it's really been lackluster performance for the most part, in my opinion. Very, very lackluster from Juventus. Riel, oh, that's a foul. We got that one there. Tech still making sure nothing goes over the line. Let's go. That save is absolutely massive from Tech. And while I say, we want to win it, we want to get the 3 points, I'm telling you right now, We can't lose this game. You can't lose this. At bare minimum, have to take a point out of this. Danilo plays this up to Rabiot. He's got Kostic back there. Kostic now, inside. Yildiz with a nice exchange, 1-2 there. Trying to play this up over the top for Miretti. Miretti's not that physical to get the guy to get that ball like that. You got to want to find him at feet, but that's a better idea. And what did I say? Come back, collect that ball, distribute, then go. Yildiz does that. That's how you got to play the game in general. Can't always just sit level with defenders and expect to just get the ball and have the ball come to you all game. Like, these guys are playing too. You got to find ways to impact the game to get yourself involved. Here's Cup Miners. It's going to go all the way to Zappacosta on the right. Kostic is going to close that down. Over to De Bruyne, who's watched by Rabiot. Now to Toloi. Over to Cup Miners. Over to Ruggeri. McKennie closing him down. There they go. And McKennie does well, sees that out, but it's going to be a corner kick for Atalanta. Those two go doing battle all game, Ruggeri and McKennie. 78 minute, 28 seconds. Apologies for my timer being 3.5 minutes out. Oh, there's a header from Gym City, but it's over Tech's goal. I'm pretty sure Yildiz is right-footed. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure, to be 100%. I'll have to check it. Pretty sure he's right-footed. Miretti. Back to Bremer. To Locatelli. Oh, too far for Miretti. He's going to be muscled out there. And there's Kostic a mile off doing anything. Either supporting a player or being able to defend. Like, it's just fucking shocking. And then Kostic drops right off with only one guy there when we have 3 center backs. Like, call him off. Move him up there so that we can actually press to win the ball back. Why are we playing so chicken shit? Fuck you guys. Jesus. I'm sorry. Because at times the commentary shifts to just my feelings. Here's Kolasinac stepping forward for Atalanta. Muriel and Ederson with an exchange. Ederson back on it. Finding De Catalare. Cross in and Tech easily picks that one up. We're at 80 minutes, you guys. 10 minutes remaining in this before some stoppage time. An absolutely abysmal second half from Juventus. Danilo to Bremer. There's absolutely nothing for ideas for Juventus. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing for ideas. Absolutely shocking stuff. Bremer comes in there. That's a bad challenge. At the foul there. Pasalic is set to come in for De Catalare. He's probably getting close to his curfew. De Catalare. And then we got Home coming in for Zappacosta. Haneen, thank you for clarifying on Yildiz. He is right-footed predominantly, but obviously good with both. Mark 1, if I say that Chesney is our man of the match, it means we played a bad game. That's actually crazy for Tech 2 because in a game like this where you don't really face anything, to get called upon for a save like that on a free kick like that, that's massive. Yildiz in for Miretti. Goes to Kostic. Goes back to Danilo. To Locatelli. Over to Bremer. Take that space and let's go. And dish that ball. Find somebody. Holy shit, man. Like, this is why we don't need these guys on the ball all the time. Like, get our midfielders back and collect this fucking ball. And now Bremer's down. Jesus Christ. Like, these guys we can't have these guys trying to control the tempo or dictate what happens in the game. The midfielders need to rotate in and out of there. Here comes Weah. 83 minutes, 18 seconds. We got Rugani set to come in. Bremer's going to take that sub. And then Weah's going to come in for Weston McKennie. Let's see if we can find an impact. Shift something in the last, 10 minutes, including stoppage. What the fuck is Rugani going to do? Well, he's going to cover for Bremer, but Weah, maybe Weah can have some type of impact. I continue to be happy with McKennie as the right wing back, though, and I think he does a lot of work for us. But holy Christ, I can't watch much more of Bremer, Gatti, and Danilo try and quarterback play. And now we got Rugani quarterback and play. Same thing. Get the ball out of his feet. Come on, mids. Come back and get this thing. Here he's launching, looking Weah's way. Unable to keep that in. It's going to be Atalanta throw. But press them, you guys. Everybody up. Let's go. Let's try and get this ball back quick. Find a breakthrough. Do any. I will take the ugliest goal on the planet today. I don't even care. Just find a way to get it. Flicked on for Moretti. Get in there, man. Oh, don't slow yourself up. Burn through there. That's huge work from Kostic there. Beautifully done. Advantage given. We're going to continue. Here's Locatelli trying to spray this one to Chiesa. Luckily, the clearance is wrong, but that ball was poor from Locatelli. 85th minute, we've got another substitution. This one's going to be for Atalanta. Ruggeri's going to come off, and Bakker's coming on. Holy. Chris says, I don't drink, but when Allegri's out the door, I'm going to get hammered. Oh, shit. That's funny. Oh, man. Master G, I'm with you. Our whole play was just a disaster today. Really, really frustrating game to watch. I'll take 7 to dump Allegri. Look, this question has come up multiple times already this season. For me, it still always comes down about the club. So top 4 to get the resources to get better players and right the ship. Guys, Allegri's contract's almost up. And I still stand by what I said. He's leaving at the end of this season on his own accord no matter what happens. Win, lose, whatever. This is Max's last go. I truly believe that. 86 minutes, 30 seconds. Atalanta trying to press forward here through Bakker on the left side. Gatti, it gets through him. Weah comes in and blocks it. And now he's just going to pound this one up ahead. Chiesa is doing battle there. Can't win that one. Oh, we have it. Fall to us. Miretti, a touch forward. You just can't lose the ball there. That's a mistake. Here's Cup Miners. Over to Pasalic. Up to the top. It's fallen. Here's a hit. Ederson, it's blocked. Have it out. Oh, Yildiz can't trap that. Let's go. Get back in there. Kostic doing battle here. But Home coming forward. Can he keep it in? It didn't look like he did, but that's okay. Danilo wins it. Oh, foul there. Nothing doing. We can only go forward with it. We don't win the battle. Yildiz trying to apply a little bit of pressure. Darun's going to slow things down, go back to Gym City. Now he's going to slide it out there for Muriel. Cut in, has a hit. Tech stops a rebound to Cup Miners, but it's high and over. Ooh. Ooh. Jeez. Tech with these rebounds right back out in front. Hey. At least he was sharp on it and came out to take that away from Cup Miners. My word, though. My word. Absolutely piss poor second half from Juventus. The first half wasn't great, but the second half was just rough. Holy shit. Kolasinac. Going back. Kostic. Oh, plays it. It's too far for Rabiot, but that's okay. Yildiz comes back, gets it. Locatelli. Sorry, it was Chiesa who scooped that up. Weah, inside for Moretti. To Locatelli. Holy shit, Locatelli. An absolute floater for Weah. Chests it down. Look at just talk it out, guys. Figure out who wants the ball. Kostic inside for Chiesa. Back for Kostic. Come on, find one. Find a greasy one right now. Here's Rabiot. Jesus Christ, he's got no options here. Out to Weah. And there you go. Close down. Here's Gatti. And holy shit. We got to go all the way back to Tech. Up ahead for Locatelli. Locatelli now trying to go over the top for Weah. He's onside. Oh, shit. That's a rush decision. Chiesa behind the player. Home now is going to head it out. Kostic headed down for Moretti. Moretti run in the area. Inside for Chiesa, doing battle, trying to get that ball. Like, Moretti drive that ball in there and take a guy on. Try and force a foul, a PK. Like, don't just be so quick to deliver it. Oh, guys, fight. Rugani to Locatelli. We're at the 90th minute now. Let's go. We're going to get a little stoppage time. Over to Rabiot. Holy shit, Rabiot, that's risky. Oh, look at him come out of it. Hey, gets one in a good spot. There's one thing I said we're good at, and that's set pieces. Maybe we find a greasy one here. I will take it. I will take it. Sometimes a team that's undeserving gets that dub, and I'll tell you right now, I'll take this one no matter how the hell it comes. Kostic is on it, so is Chiesa, but it looks like Kostic is going to be the one to deliver this, which means it's going to be kind of an outswinger. Chiesa moving up that left side. Here's Kostic's delivery. It's going back post. Oh, beyond everyone. Backer heads it. Yildiz is going to try and do battle. He goes up with it. Put pressure on him. Pasalic. Here's Weah. Does well just to settle that ball down. Come around with it. Here's Locatelli. Has Kostic to his left. Plays it to him. And Kostic doesn't even open up when accepting the ball to even look forward. Goes right back to Locatelli. With a shit pass too, might I add. Here's Kostic. Again, can't open up. So it goes back to Tech. Tech. And he just bombs it forward well beyond Yildiz. Kolasinac just headed back to Musso, but he's going to keep it on the ground. We got 4 minutes of stoppage time. We're already a minute and a half through this. Our team is very fragile. We're going to talk about some of this in the post-match, you guys. But Backer still pressing here. Gets around. Popped over the top. Here's Cup Miners. with a hit. Oh, holy shit. Woo. And Allegri furious. You know what, Max? Max, come on, man. Come on. You're going to get furious about a situation like this? You're going to get more furious about the fact we are impotent in attack, for fuck's sakes. What are we going to get furious about? Sooner or later, yeah, they're going to get opportunities. Shit. Fuck. Minute and a half remaining as far as time goes. We're at 92 minutes, 40 seconds. Don't mind my ticker being 3 minutes off. I was daydreaming at the start. I'm more in a coma at how the first half started. Rabiot. Oh, here's a cross coming in. Headed out. Rugani, Kostic. Trying to see this one out. That's a foul there. Easy foul there. Shut your face, home. Get out of there. It's an easy call. Another guy that looks like a 7-year-old. Cry more. Paul West saying no medal. Nothing. Jason Kern, that second half was disgusting, my friend. Disgusting second half. About 20 seconds left in this one, everybody. As we reach 4 minutes of stoppage time, he might give a little bit more. I doubt it. Tech's going to go route one with this. There it goes. Yildiz trying to get a flick on. He actually does to Chiesa there. Played back again. Just get some pressure in their way. Doing well, but they're just batting that ball around and just can't find anybody. It's blown dead. That's game, you guys. It's over. 0-0 draw. Max Allegri looks furious. Well, you know what? Welcome to your fan base right now, my friend, because I'm furious as well. Just absolutely infuriating. Infuriating game to watch, okay? Max storming off right now. Gonna go like this. Takes a moment to recognize the blonde, of course. But furious and is gonna be walking off. Statistics in this one, okay? Statistics in this one. It finishes at 52% possession. Atalanta, 48% possession. Juve. Total attempts at the end of this game. 15 for Atalanta, 5 for Juventus. That means in the second half, in its entirety, Juve ended up with 1 attempt. Okay? 1 attempt in the second half. Okay? I'm going to talk about this. In the first half, both teams had 4 attempts going into that second half, okay? That's shocking stuff. 3 total attempts on target for Juventus, 2 total attempts on target for Atalanta. In the end, Juve created 0 big chances. Absolutely nothing. 3 big chances created for Atalanta. They missed all 3 of them. What do we want to get into? It's all the same, and it's just reiterating something that we all know. What I'm going to elaborate on is something that I spoke about recently that in large regard was misinterpreted. When I start saying that there are games where I blame the players more than anything, number one, it's all involved. It always has been, and I said that. But there are games where I really look at the players more, and then there are games where I start to look at the leadership, the coaching a lot more. This one for me, we had no alternative plan. We had no alternative plan, and it showed. Okay? We had plan A, and it was on par with Atalanta. What did I say about Atalanta? They kind of had their plan shut down too. In the end, started to work through with some alternatives, but was it really alternatives, or was it just the fact that they were on the ball so much more and at least possessing it and way better in ball retention? See, Atalanta stops the ball when they are stopping the ball at the back and we don't press them. Well, it's fucking easy. But when they press us and they press us for space all around, yeah, it makes life difficult for us. Second half, completely flat from Juventus, but there was no alternative from Juventus. When they took away the flanks, we still just tried to work that way. And in the middle, again, continues to be a little bit of a dead zone for Juve. And up front, a couple things play there. Like I was saying throughout this game, the Metsalas bomb forward far too fast. Stick around. Possess the ball a bit. Knock it about, exchange, and then go. We just move forward. We want to play headed like flicks onto our forwards and stuff like that. Like, what is this? It's such a plain Jane predictable type of play. We lacked any ambition in this game for me. Lacked way too much ambition. Like I said going into this wasn't, and we kind of laughed about it on the previous show because Omer said it's a must win. I said it's a can't lose more than it is a must win. But holy shit, we really treated this second half like we just wanted to get out of there with a draw. Not acceptable. Acceptable to get a draw against Atalanta, but the approach for me lacks ambition and lacks ideas. And in the second half of this one, there was no adjustments. So while they shut down our flanks and everything, there was no adjustments. We weren't all of a sudden starting to bring a flank in centrally while still maintaining our backline, which we had done previously in earlier games this season. Saw it against Lazio work out great as well too. Bring the opposite one in centrally, try and bring more options, ask more questions. We didn't do that. It's just, where were the adjustments? It just lacked ambition. It's a very, very frustrating match. And for this one, yeah, I'm going to go at Magnanelli. I'm going to go at Allegri. I'm going to go at all of them. They're not figuring it out. There's no alternatives. There's no growth in terms of evolving, something more. You still have to game plan for your opponent. But holy shit, it didn't look like we had any ideas if they came out and did what? Play in the 3-4-1-2, 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it, the same that we do? Man, we played them in the preseason, I think, and it ended in a 0-0 draw the same. You knew they were going to play in that setup that they always play in and have played in for how many years in a row now under Gasperini. Figure it out. You can't have an alternative planned out or mapped out. I don't like it. This one for me is a lot on the planning and the ideas and adapting. I don't like it. The other thing I'm nervous about, this is what I'm nervous about. One brutal game against Sassuolo, and have we completely reverted back to the shit show that was last season? Have we? Lecce? Was that a game that was very reminiscent of last season? Is this a game that is very reminiscent of last season? It looked like it. Way too happy to sit back and just, again, not a lot of desire and not a lot of ideas up front. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with this game whatsoever. And it's just brutal, but have we reverted back? This is my major fear, everybody. This is my major fear, that we have reverted back. I don't know. But we will see. Let's get to some of your comments, everybody. You guys have been fantastic all through the match. The AJC Army is second to none, okay? And no matter what the results are, I love doing these things, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying them, okay? Drop a like while you're here. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's all Juve all the time. We're, of course, going to break down this game in full and talk a lot more detail about the storyline surrounding the team, our thoughts, how we see this game. We'll look at the moments. I think our best opportunity was our only opportunity in the second half through Chiesa on a left-footed shot that he put, unfortunately, too close to Musso. Okay, but that's our best opportunity. But we'll see. Let's talk about what we gotta do here. Rebecca coming in here saying Max needs to go, and we desperately need a creative center midfielder. Okay. Master G saying this one was the players. I actually, it was part them too. We got to say the execution was piss poor in the moments they came, but largely I didn't like the ideas of what we were going to do against Atalanta. So a combination of the two. Very poor second half performance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Disgusting. Absolute shit show. Jerry B. Nass. My favorite part of the game was the back passes that almost created chances. Yes. Keep firing. Draw Allegri. Okay. Come on. Hey. None of this. None of this. None of this. Chiesa non si tocca. Non si tocca. And we honestly can't. We can't get rid of this. We can't. I mean, if you're gonna, he's our only driving force so far at the moment. Yeah, we gotta pray this guy stays. I'm gonna shut down this feed right now, or maybe not. There we go. But we'll see what happens. Dan coming in here saying, I think it's time for a manager change. Allegri has to go. Well, you know, we talked about it so much. Everybody knows where I stood come last season. I mean, hell, we're about to give away some kits, by the way. I'm waiting for some of these to arrive, but obviously I have to give 10 kits away this season because of my wager. And I said I felt so strongly he would be gone. I put 10 kits on. So you guys are going to have an opportunity to win some jerseys, okay? So you should be happy about at least that part of it. But we can't sit around and talk about it all the time because it's not going to change. It's not going to change, unfortunately, this season. Juve's not going to be at a point where we drop so horrific this season where all of a sudden we're going to have to make a change mid-season, which they won't. And I think we've obviously seen in the Mercato this season, as well as keeping him aboard and hearing some of the rumblings behind the scenes and being confirmed by guys like Mirko Di Natale, the finances are running the show at the moment for Juventus. Earlier on in this feed, I talked about Giuntoli and when we could really start to see him have some influence, and it's going to be until the shackles come off financially. But right now, make no mistake about it, I'm telling you, it ain't going to change, you guys. There's not going to be a managerial change coming in for draws against Atalanta. And I mean, we can look at the game, no matter how disgusting the performance is, we're not gonna get a change based on this result. We are financially driven at the moment, okay? And I'm telling you, it may not be what the majority of you want, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's the reality. We are financially driven at the moment. There is no way right now with a draw in this match, Juve sitting at obviously 14 for points. We're going to be at 14 for points. Atalanta's going to be at 13. So we're going to be level with Napoli for third. We're going to be 4 points adrift off of top of the table, where Inter and AC are at 18. This is not going to be make or break. If what hasn't already happened, it's not going to happen over this. The reality is, all we can do is continue to hope that there's a shift, that there's some type of shift, some type of progression, that we can figure this out, that the players can find some confidence and start to click. My concerns with these players mentally and wanting more out of them and needing these guys to really push through, now my fears are starting to kind of creep up more and more and more, like I brought up in this one. After one brutal showing against Sassuolo, have we completely given up on some of the ideas we started the season with and some of the ways we were playing? Have we reverted back to the shit show that was last year, where we are going to surrender the majority of the play, where we are going to shell up, drop our forwards even extremely far back, and just try and clamp down on D and try to smash and grab goals? That might be the reality, and that is concerning. Okay, because I don't care who the coach is, that just it's got to be better. We're just not. You're asking a team that has been struggling for consistency and struggling through consistency individually through these moments where the games have actually been good leading up to that Sassuolo game. So they're still having problems in execution and rhythm and whatnot. And now you're asking them to clamp down, shell up, and then try to be like pinpoint exact as far as execution goes to smash and grab goals. No, that's bad. That's bad. So I don't care so much about the Sassuolo fiasco. It was individual errors left, right, and center, but you know what? Growing pains. Keep moving through it. Keep pushing through with the progression, the ideas, the idea to keep on the throttle, the idea to generate a lot of chances. The idea is to get the balls in the feet of the correct players. I don't want to go back to this shit show of shelling up and then watching Danilo, Bremer, Gatti be on the ball for maybe 60 to 70% of the actual possession that we hold. That's just brutal. And we need way more. Go back to the games where we were getting a lot of opportunities inside the area. And if you give up opportunities, they're coming back at you, okay, we'll deal with it. Try to find the balance and still trying to achieve that type of play, because getting these guys, when you're questioning the quality of your players and your roster, getting these guys to be precise like that, to that level, to that degree that trying to smash and grab games is, for me, not ideal. That's not ideal, everybody. But that's just me spitballing. I don't really like it. Jeremiah coming in here saying, I truly believe that this Juve has no ambitions because the expectations are like super low. I think that, again, it's just a combination of a lot of things. It's a combination of a lot of things. These players, their mentality, the ability for them to be accountable with their own consistency. I just don't like the headspace and how soft it seems and how it could change on a whim. When it's going good, it's going good. That's great. That's easy. But it's when it's not going good, that ability to persevere through it. And that's why I see a team that is still so soft. Okay? So even beyond the ideas, lack of ideas, and maybe you could put it to coaching and tactics and ideas of how we're going to develop and create opportunities, even beyond that, their drive, their determination to persevere through adversity and tough matches and losing so many 50-50s in this game and making decision after another that were just brutal is tough to watch. That's a tough game to stomach, even though it's a 0-0 draw against Atalanta, which overall is not a bad result. Okay, and I thought today was going to end up in a draw, but I did think there was going to be goals both ways. 0-0 draw. And there you have it. It's not a bad result in the grand scheme of things. It's how we go about the results and achieving them. And in the end, Atalanta had some great opportunities. Tech made an absolute ridiculous stop on a free kick that probably should have ended up in the back of the net. And then Cup Miners made a mess of a couple at the end there where we started to get a little loose, but eventually it's going to happen when you invite a lot of pressure. We need a lot more. You guys are calling for coach and whatnot. I'm just saying we can probably all agree on that, but it's just not going to change. So we really got to hope that these guys figure it out and put it together. Everyone that's there, coaching staff, trainers, players, you got to figure it out. Juntali, hey, good luck, brother. But the shackles are going to be on at least for another Mercado, I feel. We'll see what happens. The midfield, it's the midfield personnel. Well, the midfield needs to be much better. I talked about that going into this game. I talked about it on the preview show today. We raised the question, you can only bring somebody in one spot. Is it defense, midfield, attack? Midfield for me. It's a no-brainer. Like, it's way too much inconsistency there in the middle. And not a knock on the guy, but Rabiot being our best, last season, and even across Serie A, whatnot, like, kind of shocking as far as contributions go. It was a surprise. It's not something I felt comfortable in banking on. And I thought today he was okay defensively. But again, like, I don't expect this guy to be bagging 10 goals a season. Like, it's just, I don't expect it. Locatelli, again, today, at the end, in the second half, it's sporadic because it's so frantic in our play because we're just trying to launch it. and smash and grab things. But it's not a nice controlled tempo, dictate, look, and distribute. And again, the movement is stagnant. We look lazy. We look soft. We sometimes look entitled. It's not a brand I'm happy with watching. I want a lot of change, you guys. Nonetheless, let's see what is said in the post-match. I can probably give you a good idea already of what's going to be said. Keane, I give Keane a little bit of a break because he was left on island for the most part. I thought he worked very, very hard. I really, really think he worked hard. But yeah, it was going to be hard for anybody in there under those circumstances because we didn't commit a lot. Okay? But we'll see. We're going to let the aftermath, the storylines come out of this one. We're going to let it build up. We're going to tackle it in the post-match pod tomorrow. We'll finish up with the ratings, okay? If you had to name a man of the match for Juventus, let me know who you would give it to, okay? I'm going to hit you with the ratings before we kind of sign off. Szczesny finishes off with a 7.1. I'd give him a 7 because he did save the point for Juventus. Gatti with a 6.8. I'd probably finish with a 6.5. Bremer got a 7. These are all from SofaScore, by the way. I'd give him a 6.5. Danilo at a 7.2. I'd give him a 6.5. Weston McKennie at a 6.8. I'd have him for his efforts in the game, probably close to a 7 for us. Fagioli at a 6.9. I'd give him maybe a level 6. Locatelli at a 7. I'd give him a 6. Rabiot at a 7. I'd give him a 6. Cambiaso, 6.5. No, I give him an even 6. Moise Kean got a 6.5. I'd probably give him a 6 to 6.5. Chiesa finished with 6.4, 6.5, because these guys had to do it all for themselves, to be honest. So maybe if I had to give it someone, it'd be McKennie, honestly, for man of the match. Other than Tech. Tech saved the spot, so it probably got to go to Tech. And that probably tells you a lot about the performance. So let's give it to Tech. Okay. And Ryan S. saying it's like Magnanelli wasn't there at all these last 3 games. It's been night and day, and that's why my fear is one shit show. Have we reverted back? We're going to tackle everybody's thoughts, get the team's thoughts tomorrow on the post-match podcast. You guys say keeper man of the match. Yeah, we're going to give it to Tech, but Jeremiah says McKennie. I'm okay with that. I think he's in the mix, but we'll see what happens. Which English soccer team do you support, Alberto? I don't actually support any of the clubs. I do watch the Premiership. I don't really support any of the clubs, but let's leave it up to this. If I had to support a club, I'll leave it up to you guys to let me know who should I support there if I had to support one. If I have to go back into the day, probably, honestly, I loved Thierry Henry. I know what they've become and kind of the joke and everything. We laughed about them being linked with a lot of our players and they're never going to go there over them. But, Thierry Henry, Bergkamp before him, Arsenal, kind of have this thing. And honestly, like the days of Zola and Chelsea, whatnot, obviously Vialli, it would be between one of those two clubs, honestly, if I was going to support an English side. But Vialli for me, and even Zola, probably Chelsea, bigger than the Bergkamp and Thierry Henry. It'd probably be Chelsea if I had to. That would probably be the club I would support. Now, that wraps up for today, you guys. Been a lot of fun, as always. Absolute pleasure me doing this. Thank you for enjoying the game. We may not have enjoyed the game, but thank you for joining me. Okay, I hope to see you all tomorrow morning, post-match podcast. There's going to be a lot to talk about, regardless of a 0-0 scoreline. There's going to be a lot to tackle, and I believe Omer is definitely going to be with me tomorrow. We're going to see if we can get another crew member. The weekdays are kind of tough. It's a Monday show. It's not a victory Monday, but hey, let's kick off the week right anyways and chat some Juve. See you all tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Ciao, ciao. Thank you, everybody. As always, no matter what, fino alla fine, forza Juve, grazie Tech. Big one today. Big stop today. Ciao tutti. Take care.
Yeah.